last 6 months, I think maybe from when I started this entrepreneur journey, we already had, but I think that this last 3 to 4 months, it's like everything doubled, maybe tripled. The fear, the anxiety, the pressure, the silence, the comparison, miss, the fear of missing out. I started to lose faith in the process. you know I'd sit in front of my MacBook, and ready to, I won't say ready, like I have to force myself to come and sit down, you know, record this content, I have to force myself to do the editing work, and because I just feel numb, like I'm forcing myself to do something that no longer had meaning for me, like no longer made sense for me. There was time, when I feel the fire, I feel that motivation, and that drive, when I was building. Now it's like it's almost out, that fire, that drive, it's almost out. Like I don't see, like I don't see the, me getting through this. I don't see myself getting through, getting a breakthrough, and I thought maybe, I think the last month, I thought, maybe, I need to pray to God, and, get back to, get back right with Him, and I prayed, and I begged, I begged, like, just give me something, small, even small, something to show that you haven't forgotten me, like, because something to prove that this is going somewhere, and but nothing came, and it's hurt, but like I was like even if it's a crumb of the full, even if it's a crumb of the whole bread, I would take it like that, and I wouldn't complain. I might even like, and I started to question everything. Did I, am I even meant for this? Did I take the wrong path? Wouldn't life have been better if I had gone to uni, college, or get a degree or certificate, and just do a regular, just maybe get a regular job, just and live like everyone else, because this this may not meant for me, and maybe I shouldn't have started this. I maybe I shouldn't have started all of this. It would have brought me to all these struggles, and it would have brought me to here and who I am right now. So like, I started to ask, question everything, like, why did I even start this? And because quite frankly, like I never asked for, this. I never asked to, to be different in the an environment how I am. I never asked to, to be the one trying to, carve a new part. Like, but it's like I got like plugged out from the crowd, and thrown into this spotlight of struggle, and because I couldn't see the result, I stopped working. I would find excuses to stop working. you know I would I would find come back home and just do nothing, school, and just do nothing. Even my gym, it's not been going well, and then I feel guilty for not working, and that guilt spiraled into shame. uh it will be that constant loop of I don't work, guilt, shame, missing out. I don't work, guilt, shame, missing out. I don't work, and I became like quick to anger, quick to isolate myself, like quick to lose gratitude and complain of petty stuff. Since I don't complain about normally I complain about lose gratitude. I don't journal. Everything starts to meaningless. I'm saying like meaningless, like nothing do matters. And the scary part is you like there's no purpose at all. Like there's no purpose in life, and that's not a place you want to stay in. Because but somehow I'm still here. Somehow I'm still struggling to rebuild everything on not because I feel strong. No, not because, because I think of a small flicker. That it's like the only thing keeping me up is that small fire. And it's very very heavy. you know I feel like quitting. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like quitting sometimes. Because I just feel like there's no, there's any breakthrough through what I'm facing. You know, but I still I think you know that small fire. That small flicker of hope or faith. That tells me to not quit. And like this isn't the end. You know maybe that's a faith. Maybe that's that hope. Me hoping that there is something greater than what I'm facing right now. That hope that I know that maybe there is something greater at the end. If it's not through my business in any aspect of my life, there may be something bigger, greater. That it will be so much great that I would look through my days right now and be like, I didn't go through this. There's nothing. And maybe that's grace. Maybe that's faith, and that's all I need right now. Yes, that's all I need right now. This is a motivational video. This is a testimony of a breakthrough. It's just me in the middle of this mess and just being honest. I just because at times I will record videos, but I was so phony. Like Joe, that when you post that your lines, just you're contradicting yourself. So I delete. I don't get it out. I have many videos I've recorded, but I know that um I'm not practicing what I'm saying, so I remove it. I delete it. So if you are going through the same thing, I think I can relate to that. I don't see you, but if you're questioning your faith, your future, or your worth, I I I I think I can relate to that. And I'm right, in where you are. I hope you have that small flicker, that small fire in you that is sustaining me right now. And that is sustaining me right now. I hope you have that too, which it doesn't need to be big. It just that small fire that is so heavy that it is holding you through all these struggles or phase you are going through. And let's keep going. And even if we have left, is that small fire. But before I want to say this, maybe that hope, is me hoping in God. And real hope, I think, maybe is not just sitting around waiting things will get better, but it's not crossing your fingers and waiting. Oh, but it's confidence. Knowing your circumstances, knowing even yourself. Because I think you can trust yourself. The heart is deceitful above all things, and but you hope in God's character that He's faithful and He keeps His promises. He never changes. He's the same. When He created the earth. Through all, time. He's not bound to time. I think maybe that's something people need to know, that God isn't bound to time, space, and matter. He's outside of it. He created those things, and but hope hope in God's character that He's faithful and He keeps His promises. Even when everything looks dark. Even it feel like nothing is changing, because I'm not saying you can trust people, but I could wake up today and want something, be obsessed with that something, maybe clothes or watch or anything else, carnal things, and the next day, even with the next hour, I'll I'll totally lose interest in that. So people change. People change to circumstances, life situations and so on. But there is someone who doesn't change. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I think putting your faith, putting, having hope in that person who never changes is much more, you know, secure. You can trust him with all your heart. I think that's what I would say. I think that's what is keeping me here. No hype, no result, no motivation, but hope, rooted in who he is. If, yep. I believe that I need to, yeah, I do. I don't need to do anything big, but just keep on moving, day by day, and try to um work with him, and not big, but you know just slowly, step by step, and just hold on and trust his plan, because his plans are better, you know are the best for me. He has the best plans for me. Not even I could even think of those plans. And trust his plans, even when it doesn't look like, when right now what I'm facing is I don't see any vision that I can get through this. So yeah.